Hello again from my front porch. Now you may be wondering, Paul, why are you wearing this mask on your face? We're all done with the mask stuff. Not so fast. See, for the last few days here, in this week here, I was not feeling well. I was not feeling well at all. See, there's still that little. Now, it's ironic because the last video that I did was with my friend Tammy talking about RSV. I did not get RSV, and my not feeling well has nothing to do with the interview that I did with her. It's an interesting coincidence. But I've been wearing this mask a few times that I've gone out in public. But to illustrate just how long it's been that I've been not feeling well, see, I didn't shave during that time. You like the, got to watch the shadowing there. See, the stubble. See, I had to do before I shaved the stubble off, I had to make sure I did one of these because I don't do the stubble look very often. I don't get that opportunity. But seriously though, the mask thing, there were a few days that I just did not want to leave the house. I was not, coughing and my sinuses. I always have trouble with my sinuses anyway. And the older I get, the doesn't get any better. But the sinuses and a lot of drainage and down into the throat and the coughing and the blowing the nose and all that. But then it really hit me even harder. That it hit me with just the weakness and the just this general achiness. And it's like my appetite never seemed to go away, and for the most part I was but it was with the pain here and the pressure here, it was really tough to even focus on doing work because how do you sit and look at a computer screen when you're like and the brightness of the computer screen shine back is like it's like driving nails, and so I was just not feeling well at all, and missed out on a few opportunities to do some stuff with the FAI. Had their big Christmas event this last weekend. Did not go, mainly because did not want to, share this with other people. And that's why I've been wearing the mask. It's Christmas season time. It's Christmas shopping season, and as I see, I do that. That's the phlegm stuff in my throat being loose and causing me to cough. It's not a cough like a traditional cough. It's the mucus in my throat. I know that sounds gross, but that's what caused that cough. So, now I don't get any plug for these, but I gotta tell you, I'm gonna put in a little word for these little guys here. These Halls things. They're just these little mini. They're really small. They're these mini little ball things. Just one. I just need one, guys. They're just these small little mini ball things, but they work really well. So normally I wouldn't do one of these videos with something in my mouth, but as it works well. But so I carry those with me in my pocket when I go out in public because it's Christmas shopping season time. So there are some limited targeted visits to places, but when I go out, I've been wearing the mask, just like we talked about with Tammy in the RSV video. Now again, I don't have RSV, you don't have that, but still, on the chance that what I had would be contagious to somebody else at any point in time, because even after you're feeling better from something, you still might be contagious to spread to somebody else. You might not, who knows? But I don't want to be guilty of willingly and not knowingly sharing something bad with somebody else, so I wore the mask when I went out in public. And it also meant that I didn't have to shave as much because, aside from a little bit you can see through there, you can't even see whether I've shaved or not. So that's really nice. But the reason I want to mention this is because there was something that Tammy and I talked about in that video that I now have experienced because during COVID, of course, everybody was encouraged to wear a mask, and a lot of people, we didn't like it, but we wore them, but a lot of people wore these things and complained about them, but everybody was wearing them. Well, now not everybody's wearing them, and so I would go into a store and I'd be wearing my mask, and every once in a while I'd see one or two other people that were also wearing a mask for whatever reason, but most people were not, and most people were ambivalent. But I did get some looks. I got some looks, some side eyes, some glance, some questioning look. Excuse me. See, that's why I swallowed the thing here, because even with the lozenge, that's what I would be doing in public, and I don't want to be that guy walking around the store going like that, and then so wearing the mask. But I would still get these looks from people who'd be like, "What are you doing wearing the mask? Why are you wearing that thing?" I'm wearing it for you. I, you know, we give grief to people who are because the mask is much more effective for the person who has or potentially has something that they could spread to others. The mask is much more effective in stopping me from coughing or sneezing something out into the air. Now, it's not going to completely 100% prevent that, but it's going to cut down on it. It's going to reduce that. But as just a healthy person walking around wearing one to prevent myself from breathing in what somebody else has coughed or sneezed out, it's not doing hardly anything for that. I mean, a little bit maybe, but that benefit is minuscule. The real benefit is I, as the person who potentially is spewing something out, to wear that to keep that from happening. And even now here in this episode, I've now had a couple of coughs. Now, I don't know if there's anything contagious off that or not, because again, I know it's the drainage going out. Can that be contagious? Well, I don't know. I think it's just the sinus stuff at this point that's doing that. But I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't know. And so just to not be risky, to not take chances, and keeping in mind what Tammy and I had talked about, I have willingly, voluntarily worn the mask. But then you get that look from people, that judgmental viewpoint. You know, one of the things that Tammy and I talked about was how important it is that if you're not feeling well, first of all, you should minimize your contact with going out in public anyway, which I definitely did. But even beyond that, you should also be taking steps to make sure you are not spreading stuff to other people, like wearing a mask. But as judgmental as people were non-verbally, in just the little snippets, little opportunities where I was out wearing one of these, I can understand. Now, in my case, I'm like, I don't care. Look at me all you want. Give me attitude. I don't care. In fact, I was really kind of hoping. It's probably a good thing somebody didn't, but I was really kind of hoping that somebody would actually say something to me. Hey, stupid, why are you wearing that mask? Or something like that, so that I could then take the mask off and say, oh, I'm sorry. I was actually wearing this to protect you, and then cough right on them. I know that's horrible, but it's like, if someone's going to be that big of a jerk about me wearing the mask, they deserve it. But nobody did that. There was nothing of the sort that happened, and so that was good. But again, I had the nonverbals, and in my case, I'm okay stirring the pot a little bit. I'm okay pushing buttons a little bit, but a lot of people are not. A lot of people are much more. They want to avoid any conflict or any pushback or whatever, and so they're far more likely to just not wear the mask because they can't handle the judgment, the nonverbal judgment that would be given to them for wearing one, and in doing so, they may, because of their insecurity, wind up spreading something that they ought not have been so free to spread. And so I just wanted to take this opportunity to use my own personal experience now, because I've not, it's kind of like, it's not an exact comparison, don't get me wrong, but it's like when Tara, my bestie Tara and I, when we've gone to the state fair and done our food day together, and we're walking around, and even now in 2023, there are still people who give us a look, because white guy walking around with a black lady. Now they assume that we're a couple and that we're together. It's clear the assumption they're making, and then they are judging that interracial couple thing. And I don't care. It doesn't bother me one bit. I'm like, think whatever you want to think. I don't care. So again, I'm wired that way. I have that mentality. I don't. You have a problem with it, it's your problem, not mine. I don't know. But there are a lot of people who again are not that way, and shame on everybody else. For if person shows up and they're wearing at the store, you're out and about and you see somebody wearing a mask, shame on you for judging them. Now, you don't have to wear the mask. I mean, now at this point, we're not saying anybody has to, but if they are choosing to wear the mask, they're doing it likely for one of two reasons. One, for the way that I was wearing it, because I don't know, I have to be out, I have to be doing this, but I don't want to risk you catching something from me, and so I'm wearing this mask to minimize that chance. I'm doing this for you. Another reason somebody may be wearing the mask is because they're worried about getting something from somebody else, that they may have that level of concern. Some would say paranoia, whatever, and maybe they're even hypochondriac. I don't know, but that they may have this concern that they can be exposed to anything at any time, anywhere, and so they're going to wear a mask. Okay, who are they hurting by wearing the mask? Are they hurting you by them wearing a mask? No. They're not coming up to you and saying, hey, where's your mask? They're just wearing it for themselves. So let them wear it. Who cares? But if it's that first group like I was doing, then in fact, and rather than mocking somebody, we ought to be thanking them. Thank you for wearing that mask. Because I've been in plenty of situations, and even when I was out and about in the stores wearing the mask, I'm wearing it so when I would have a cough like that, I have the mask on. But I would hear other people in the stores around me, and see other people in the aisles that had much worse coughs, big sneezes and everything. Didn't even do the in the sleeve thing, would just be and then just walk away. That's the person that we should be non-verbally, even verbally judging, because that's the person who's not being smart. That's the person who doesn't care about anybody else around. Shame on you. So, the mask's still a good thing to have handy, still a good thing to be using, especially this time of year, because this time of year is all about giving and sharing. Well, one thing that you do not need to be giving and sharing is sickness and disease. I know that sounds trite, but we're at a time where we're going out and we're running around in all these different stores, bumping up against all people, going to events and concerts and Christmas parties and family gatherings and all this kind of stuff. And if you're not feeling well, if you're not if you have potential that you could have something that you're going to spread to other people, maybe sit this one out. Or at the very least, use protection. Cover your mouth. Wash your hands. Use all the stuff we learned during COVID. Now, we may have been a little excessive. No, a little. That's an understatement. We may have excessively, absurdly reacted to COVID, in my opinion. But there was good things we learned, and those things still apply now. Even during just basic cold and flu season. Forget COVID. Anything that you don't want to be a spreader of. Use those tips. Wash your hands. Keep your distance. Wear a mask. All that kind of stuff. It doesn't hurt you. And more importantly, it will minimize the chance that you will hurt somebody else. So, there you go. I know it's an odd Christmas kind of message, huh? But see, it is. Because again, the season of giving is great, especially when we're not giving the things that we ought not be sharing. So, with that, a little bit of wisdom and the chance to show off the stubble. I will see you all next time from my front porch.